Hello everyone and welcome back to Affinity for Commander. My name is Alex and today we have our spooktacular Halloween special deck tech, which today what?
You don't look very spooky is all.
Better?
Much better.
Okay then. Now, just before we start this video, do remember that if you like any of the cards you see here, then be sure to check out any of our lovely affiliate sponsors down in the description box below for all of your purchasing needs. Doesn't cost you anything extra and really helps the channel out a lot. Or, equally, if you'd like to spookify your own decks, then be sure to head over to altersleeves.com to peruse their immense library of fantastic, perfect fit, altered artwork. And this particular deck tech was made possible thanks to support and voting of our most beloved patrons. You guys are truly awesome. Stay spooky. And now let's take a look at our horrifying commander, Lynde. Maybe. Lynde, Cheerful Tormentor is a legendary. Whoa. Let's there it is. Yes. So Lynde, Cheerful Tormentor is a legendary human warlock for 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 black, and 1 red. She's a 2/4 death touch and reads: whenever a curse is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return it to the battlefield attached to you at the beginning of the next end step. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may attach a curse attached to you to one of your opponents. If you do, draw 2 cards. So with Lynde, the theme's pretty much already set in stone. Curses. With the idea of bouncing around our curses between various players, having them be removed, bounced back to us, and then redistributed so no one gets any value from them. Well, not from us anyway. And so with that being said, let's take a look at the curses we'll be running. Curse of Disturbance, Opulency and Verbosity are all not only great for incentivizing other people attacking each other rather than us, but they're also incredibly flavorful, considering the guy in the artwork of each of these cards is the voodoo doll in Lynde's artwork that she's having some fun with. Quite frankly, to not include these cards in the deck is, well, I'm fairly confident it's illegal. Trespasser's Curse is great for healing off a token or elf deck. Curse of Shaken Faith is also funny to put on anyone looking to storm off, as it will just kill them. Curse of Echoes is also here for any Chaos players out there that just love trying to stack a billion triggers, so that's a thing. Curse of Relentless Dead also helps us build up a board state, and hopefully there's a landfall deck at the table so we can get some serious value out of it. Curse of Misfortunes helps us tutor any specific curse we need and attach it right away. And finally, Curse of Bloodletting is a nice convenient way to easily say to one person, "Hello, please die now." However, as anyone who has stared at the list of curses available in MTG, like I have, you'll quickly find that most of them are either far too expensive or simply not worth playing in EDH. Essentially, you're paying a huge amount of mana just to bugger up one person, which isn't really worth it, especially not in Grixis. So instead, we're going to be looking for means of duplicating the curses we already have. Estrid's Invocation, Clever Impersonator, Copy Enchantment, and Mirror Maid are all ways we can copy our lovely, valuable enchantments and even put them on different people. Or just curse one person into oblivion. Up to you, really. Something else to note about Lynde's ability, though, is the fact that it does not stipulate the number of curses that can be attached to us. And that can be a problem when we can only bounce off 1 every turn. So we're going to be including cards like Harmless Offering to generously give away our enchantments, as well as cards like Role Reversal as a means to say, I would like this heuristic study, you can have this curse. Enjoy. Now, slinging curses around, whilst fun, will not make you any friends and will also leave you massively open to attacks. So, now let's see what we can get in terms of support with a Grixis enchantment deck. Nope, still doesn't sound right. For our support, we're going to be leaning heavily on the constellation mechanic found in Theros sets. Cards like Doomwake Giant to help clear away any smaller creatures on the battlefield. Agent of Erebos to mess with any Merin or Muldrota player by repeatedly exiling their graveyard. Grim Guardian to provide a small amount of grinding down of our opponent's life totals. Kalefe, Beloved of the Sea, also gives a small amount of protection to our enchantments. Or if we decide that one person needs the curses on them now, cards like Shimmerwing Chimera and Riptide Chimera can be used to bounce our curses back to our hands to attach them to different opponents and get more lovely constellation triggers. But even with our consortment of constellation creatures, we're still running very light on the ground. So we're going to be running a plethora of board wipes to not die to any creature-based strategies. Damnation, always good and strong. Blasphemous Act, a lovely means of wiping the board, potentially for only 1 red mana. And finally, Chain Reaction, a card that is red's answer to Damnation, and a card I personally feel is very underplayed. And since we're also running mainly enchantment creatures, we can also run Extinguish All Hope, a lovely board wipe that will get rid of all of our opponent's pesky creatures, but leave our constellations untouched. We also want our curse's abilities to be triggering as often as possible. Strionic Resonator, Lithiform Engine, and Paradox Haze are cards that allow us to trigger a particular curse's ability twice, or give a particular player an additional upkeep, essentially doubling any curse effects, as most do trigger in the upkeep. However, in the terrible circumstance that we are in fact left completely bare, Lynde is dead or has been turned into a tree or something, then we can use a card like Crystal Chimes to grab back all of our lovely curse enchantments from our graveyard directly to our hand. And the final part of support for this deck, as we all know, draw is key. For this, we can look to cards like Thirst for Meaning, a lovely way of drawing a good number of cards, and then maybe just discarding one of the constellation creatures that we now don't need anymore, or maybe a curse that really isn't fitting the game state. Perilous Research is also great for drawing cards and getting rid of a curse that isn't really doing a lot at the moment, or is still attached to us. And oh, what the hell, throw a heuristic study in there anyway, why not? It's an enchantment, it triggers constellation, and it's kind of a curse. The curse of, do you want to pay the 1 for that? Now, moving on to the win conditions of this deck, and I'm going to be honest with you here guys, whilst researching this and editing this down, this was the hardest part, and can be easily summarized as, how do I actually win the game? Yes, getting value off curses and drawing cards is all well and good, but how to actually win? Because pinging someone with Agent of Erebos ain't it. But then I happened across this curse, and it all became clear. Mill. Yes, Fraying Sanity will be the cornerstone of our mill engine. Not only will it be recurred with our commander, but can also be copied with our multiple copy enchantment cards. Sage of Mysteries also offers a little bit of spot mill, Curse of the Bloody Tome, and combine this with loads of windfall type effects, and the mill strategy can come into focus. And when a lot of mill staples like Psychic Corrosion, Sphinx's Tutelage, and Court of Cunning are all enchantments themselves, then we can still benefit from all of our earlier mentioned synergies. But of course, since we're going mill, we might want some big mill cards. like Fleet Swallower, Maddening Cacophony, and Traumatize. We however don't want to be running too many of these. Curses before mill. After all, what's more spooky or creepy than having an opponent slowly lose their mind as they slowly and inevitably lose every single precious card in their entire library? And now on to the lands that will really help this deck shine, which oh blast, that's right, every good land that helps enchantment is in white. Come on, there must be something. What's that say? Run Urborg and Cabal coffers for mana ramp in Grixis. You're so helpful. Well then. Overall, Lynde is actually a really fun and sweet commander that makes curses relevant in the format. Now, yes, we see a few from time to time pop up, but Lynde is where they can really shine, and in the appropriate colours. I think adding white to her might have been a bit too much, and would only primarily have been used to add in sort of like tutors and the lands as mentioned before. But Lynde wouldn't really fit the white mana colour identity. She's not about truth or justice. She's about having a killer smile and voodoo dolls. Now yes, she's going to be a fun, casual deck, but she's a unique, fun and casual deck. And at the end of the day, you can't really go wrong with that. And that will be the end of the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. Happy Halloween to everyone watching. Pop below your favourite spooky commander for us all to have a look at and even see which we think is the spookiest. This video was also voted for by our lovely patrons. If you'd like to join them and vote on future content, then be sure to check out our Patreon link in the description box below. You can also follow us on Twitter @4commander and over on Facebook as well. But for now though, I've been Alex, and I will see you next time. Happy Halloween.